Hey each of you, today I'll be reacting to, I don't know if anybody's ever done this, but last time I did reacting to the first video in my YouTube news, my new videos, recommended videos on YouTube, but now I'm on the trending recommendations. The trending news. So here we go. Swipe down, you see it loading. First video is this Lil Nas. Here's an ad. The Lil Nas Old Town Road remix. Yeah, so Billy Ray Cyrus, huh? His daughter Miley Cyrus, which probably isn't her real name, maybe it is, but she's actually kind of famous for veganism, supporting veganism and ending animal cruelty. So there's an up about that, but Billy Ray Cyrus kind of has this stereotype that he's a country guy, and I just want to talk about country. The music, people say don't rag on people's music styles because it's all about art and personality. No, not really, because country, its theme, its fundamental basis is on nationalism, by supporting, I don't know if you could say there's country music for other countries, can you? Like if you say Latin music, is that country music in Latin America? Maybe this is a dumb question, but it sounds so straightforward, but I'm not even sure. So nationalism, I call that discrimination. If you support your country, then you're not symbiotically reciprocating with other countries. And even to make countries is to practice competition, and when you practice competition, you're going to work off of a scarcity of resources. So instead of fighting over a scarcity of resources, how about we figure out a system, which I have, that makes it so resources are abundant and we can all share and be enjoyable and not fight with wars and dogma and punish other people in other countries which they didn't choose to be born in. Rich billionaires didn't choose to be born into rich families, just as someone in Somalia in the desert didn't be born into poverty. So yeah, the tunes and melodies and stuff, apparently it works with math and physics sometimes, the notes and the octaves and stuff. You can look into it, how music can resonate with like light frequencies and vibrations of universal principles and stuff. It's interesting. Like when you go Om, it like, I forgot, but when you go Om, it's like some kind of octave that really resonates and like can help calm you down and stuff. But without further ado, we got 3 minutes to go into and I'm only 6 seconds in, so
yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road.
no, Don't take your horse to the old town road, I request you don't. Because there's a series of videos done by this lady called Bite Size Vegan. She's not very active posting anymore, but she's got some widely viewed videos about veganism, where you stop hurting animals and to boss around a horse and hurt its back and sit on it and force it to do things it doesn't want to do, domesticate it, take it out of its wild habitat. You're hurting, damaging, and killing horses. And that doesn't fly. That's violence. That's a outdated, obsolete way of transportation, and affection. You can meet those needs much more easily doing other things that don't cause harm. So, and also this song, I think it's very popular because it's about cultural appropriation, or, you know, bridging the gap of racism. Because the guy with darker skin color. Racism's ridiculous. It's all about skin color. It's like biology when you talk about someone with a flatter nose compared to someone with a longer nose. It's like, are those called flat nosers? Are we going to discriminate against flat nosers? No. It's ridiculous. This whole thing is like a media, and it's based on like way outdated biblical references. Like, this is like a 2,000-year-old like fart, like a human fart, like people have been stuck in their ways for over 2,000 years. It's absurd. Like, humans have a very flawed tendency to not change. And it's based on what they eat. Things that stick inside your brain, like animal products and grains and lots of stuff like that. So yeah, you're trying to bridge the gap as if there is a gap, and there's not a gap. It's just behaviors and cultures. So if you stop the behaviors and cultures, like nationalism, that's why this video is like an apologist. It's like what do you do when you tip your hat off to someone? You just pay respects or whatever. It's that. It's dishonest. It's inauthentic. This video is just like a publicity stunt. Yeah, that guy with darker skin was probably raised up like the Dave Chappelle show, when the blind guy thinks he's white, thinks he's got light skin, and he's like doing all this racism stuff. Yeah. So it's just culture and culturalism. To pretend like you're a part of a culture is then discriminating other cultures. So even if this guy was raised on a farm and, you know, had the same values as lighter skinned privileged people who used to do slavery and stuff, even if there's been a long enough duration for that person to do that kind of lifestyle and normalize it with dark skin, it's still cultural. It's still culturalism, which I don't agree with.
I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse through the...
I request you don't ride till you can't no more. How about you don't enervate yourself for no purpose? Like, what's the purpose? Are you gonna reveal what your purpose is for riding until you can't no more? Are you just, like, sexually frustrated? Are you just angry? And you think exercise is a way to release that rather than to look at the fundamental basis of your disease and complications? How about that? How about removing the cause instead of just wearing yourself out and desensitizing yourself? And using toxic masculinity.
I got the horses in the bag, horse stock is attached, head is matted black, got the bushes black to match.
Your boots, your leather boots that you killed cows for, and those boots don't breathe. Our feet need to breathe. Our skin is a living organism. I mean, it's not like... is a part of our living organism. And skin breathes. It has pores. Skin absorbs things and it exudes things. So if you put it in this tight space that's got no air breathability, you're gonna create mold and fungus and mildew, and that's where bunions and gout and, you know, all kinds of nasty stuff grows. So, how about sandals like Jesus? Mythical Jesus.
I didn't own a horse, you get with your Porsche. I've been in the valley, you ain't been up off that porch. Now, can't nobody tell me nothing.
I like that. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Yeah. Do solitude. Solitude's a valuable thing to meet a need for space and autonomy. If you feel overstimulated or oversensitized, enervated, solitude, silence and solitude, very useful. But to ignore people and act like you don't care, I don't agree with that word specifically, care, etymologically speaking, semantically. Instead, I would use compassion. It's about sharing. So, because when you share, like nationalism again, we share in ecological biology. We share a biome. We share the air. We're not isolated from each other. And no other species. What we do has consequences to other people, and what they do has consequences to us. So if you act like you don't care, like you're impermeable to change, and you're what's it called, stubborn, then you're gonna have recourse, because what you're gonna do is affecting other people, and if they're trying to make requests for you to change to not affect their lives, which you think you're not, but you are, then these people are going to get frustrated as well as you are. And it's going to lead to conflict, like physical conflict instead of verbal. Verbal will escalate to physical if people continue with this mentality. Although this mentality has like a half-truth in it. take a pill and suppress your symptoms, suppress your emotions. Talking about that Maserati and three-wheeler, you got this loud engine vibrating on your body. You're gonna feel all shaky and stimulated. So you're gonna want to take a pill to suppress that. How about you just stop putting an engine between your legs to like zap you and your senses? How about you take a chill ride instead of chill vibe? So like walking or riding a bike, or or now they got electric cars. Those don't shake you up like a parent shaking a baby and giving baby PTSD. You're just like in your engine. How about removing the cause to make your chill vibe work?
Money, I don't gotta do no tools. I'm a minutes, I got women try to sneak me through they doors. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me. Hat down, cross town, living like a rock star. Spend a lot of money on my brand new guitar.
Living like a rock star. That's one mentality that a lot of people like to think about. They want to burn their star bright for a short duration. But guess what? It's not unenjoyable to live your star bright for a long time. How about that? You think that you're going to die early. You'd rather die early and love and experience life to its fullest. But guess what? It's not necessary to enervate and exhaust yourself in order to live in pleasure and enjoyment. There's a big difference between excitation and stimulation and pleasure and enjoyment. Would you rather live short life in excitation and stimulation, causing devolution and death and suffering until your end days, which are shortened lifespan? Or would you rather live in enjoyment and pleasure for a long time without that pain and suffering towards the end of your life? People think you're going to get into pain and suffer at end of age, but you're not. If you live in health and natural hygienism, if you live according to nature's laws, which nature's laws aren't human laws. They're not going to punish you. You're going to have physical consequences, but the laws aren't the kind of laws that you're feeling like you're denied choice, because they actually cause you to evolve and succeed. See, a lot of people are surviving violating nature's laws. It's not like nature's laws are some person whipping you or something. You can make a decision. So I'll continue now. Oh, diamonds? They've been marketed as a scarce mineral, rock. But apparently they're very abundant, and it's all just marketing to high-rise those prices. And if you've seen blood diamond, it's very unethical too.
In my Maserati sports car. Hold up, let me tell you something. You can't tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You
1,000 acres. That's another thing people are so like paranoid about, is protecting their land. I travel this land a lot. There's tons of open space that could get utilized. It's not about not having your space to meet your needs and to raise a family in safety. It's about removing the causes that are preventing all this stuff. We have tons and tons of space. Okay? Property is just about greed. We don't need property. Property is unnecessary under specific conditions. If we use a certain system, it makes property unnecessary and harmful. Property is just a way to divide and conquer. It's a barbaric practice that has been going on for thousands of years, and we saw it in the collapse of Roman civilization by people invading other people's spaces and then propertizing it so that there's rules, and it's just a whole chaotic framework. He said, "Giddy out my way." That was a demand. How about you make a request? How about, will you giddy out of my way? And then I can say, then I can weigh the consequences. I can use utilitarianism to wonder, yeah, does it make sense to giddy out of his way? Let's talk about it. They specifically made that Old Town Road. If they had made it like Oak Hill Road, like 2468 Oak Hill Road, a lot less people would connect to that, because Old Town Road, it sounds very generic, and that's what music does, is try to appeal to large audiences. So how about you get specific? Instead of saying the Old Town Road, a Old Town Road. And which Old Town Road? Where? Exactly where? How about that? So you can invite people to take take your horse there. All right, bye.